Welcome to Ninjababes episode number 28. Today I'm with Sandy Zimmerman. Welcome. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
How are you
thank
doing?
you. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with you. I definitely, one of the highlights of season 11 is just getting the chance to meet you and
Oh,
and get to know you a little bit and hear a little bit of your story. And I'm excited to be here and share a little bit of mine.
yes.
Yeah.
So pumped. I'm so glad that I got to get to know you a little bit more on set as well, besides just seeing you on TV and fangirling from a distance.
Oh.
So this was your third season competing on American Ninja Warrior?
This was the third season. Yep, I competed season 8 and definitely went into season 8. I went in confident thinking, yeah, you're really strong. You stayed in good shape. But I had zero skill set. So I was very naive. And I went out on the second obstacle. It was TikTok. And I had no clue as to how to trapeze. I was kind of thinking, hey, it's like a swing. How hard can it be? You pump your legs forward, you pump your legs back. Well, I quickly realized it is nothing like a swing. And the timing was all off. I could tell that I was losing momentum instead of gaining it. And I ended up not making it on that obstacle. So I went out on the second obstacle, season 8. And then season 9, I went out on the second obstacle again, the ball drop. What a lot of people don't know is this is actually season 11 is my first season doing American Ninja Warrior with everything healthy and working. I didn't have a ligament in my left thumb that season 9. And I think on the ball drop, that thumb couldn't hold me on. The ball was so wide and I peeled off and didn't get the platform. And then season 10, probably one of the roughest years of my life. I had many surgeries. I completely exploded my knee, landing off a trapeze, multiple surgeries needed to fix it all. And then on top of that, I finally came back and then I tore a ligament in my thumb. So I had to get both ligaments in my thumb fixed. So it was a year of surgeries and injuries and some really dark days, but we're at season 11 now and the dark days have passed and just incredible to get a chance to be on the course this season and do what I've been able to do.
Yeah, it was definitely incredible watching you, and I didn't really know a lot of your background from past seasons, or even that you were competed in the Tacoma Dome as a child. I thought that was such a neat tidbit that they throw in there on the show. But yeah, it was amazing to see you compete, and I was just so impressed by your fervor and your determination on the course, and just how beautifully you went through every single obstacle. Honestly, I was just so impressed. How did it feel coming to the Dome and coming back after being gone? I'm even just thinking about going through all the surgeries and the recovery. Did you think that you would be back to Ninja? Was that your goal, or what was that feeling in that time?
Well, the knee surgeries were definitely filled with some really dark days. And there were days where I thought, what am I doing? I'm in my 40s. Why am I trying to do this whole ninja thing? And what was so hard about that is because I've had surgeries before. And so I'm familiar with having to, kind of go back to square zero or square one and rehab and go through all of the pain of the rehab. But this was so different. When I hurt my knee, it was my patellar tendon completely ruptured, my ACL completely ruptured, my MCL partially torn, and I completely detached my meniscus. So basically what the doctor said is, Sandy, you look like someone took a piece of dynamite in your knee and blew it up. And
Wow.
and that, when you've been through a lot of surgeries and you hear that, because I thought, well, I've been through stuff. I can get through this. And the deal was, though, he said, if you want to just get back to kind of a normal life and you want to be able to walk down the street and play with your kids, we could do the surgery in one shot, but it'll never be the same and you'll never be the same. And he was one of the best surgeons in the entire country. I mean, people fly into Spokane to go see this guy. And I had a history with him. And so then he said, the other option is to do it in 2 parts. And he said, it will be painful and it will be awful. It will be one of the hardest things you've ever gone through, but you will come out and you will be able to do what you want to do, and you'll be able to do it at an elite level and at a high level. And I could not. I thought, this is not how my American Ninja Warrior journey is going to end. I want to come back. And I set a goal when I first started to be the first one to hit that buzzer. And I want to my goal is to do that still. And so the tough part of that, though, is so you have your first surgery, and I didn't know this, but the patellar tendon surgery, it is absolutely so painful. It is a huge tendon. And so he just fixed that part first. And then I had rehab for 3 months, and it was awful. And spending, 8 hours a day laying in a machine, it just isolates you. And I had come to love Ninja and the people in it, and that it brought into my life. So that part of it was really lonely and hard, not getting to be able to play with my kids. And that's how I bond with them. So many things that kind of made me me and that I enjoyed in life were taken. And what made it really hard is then after 3 months, I was finally kind of getting back to at least being able to move and not be on crutches. And then he says, okay, well, you're ready for part 2. Now we're going to make you go all the way back to square one. And we're going to fix the ACL and make sure that meniscus is in the right place. And hopefully the MCL is healing. And that was probably the darkest part. That was where I really had to fight, just feeling hopeless and wondering why a lot and feeling really sorry for myself. But, I kept this little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I thought, there's just a little bit of hope, and that's got to hold me on, because I know someday this is just going to be a memory, and someday it's going to be, remember when I went through that. And I just held on to that little light of hope. But when you're in the midst of something that dark and that deep and sad and painful, it feels like eternity. So at the moment, I knew it felt like eternity, but that I had the strength to get through that. And I held on to that little light at the end of the tunnel. And man, when that day came and the doctor said, Sandy, you're released, you can get back to doing what you love, I cried. And I remember even on the drive home, I pulled over to the side of the road. I couldn't drive because tears were just rolling down my face. This is the day that kept me holding on that whole entire year, that this day would come when I could get my life back. Because it wasn't just Ninja I was missing. It was the people, and it was playing with my kids and so many other parts of this sport that I missed. So that was a huge day for me. I mean, people saw me hit the buzzer in Tacoma, and that was incredible. But those years leading up to that, the ups and downs of this sport and the injuries, that's probably why you saw such intensity when I ran through the course, is there was so much that went into that before that moment.
That is such an incredible story. Like, thank you for sharing all that. I was getting chills as you were speaking, because it shows so much just of like your spirit and all that you went through and just everything that happened during that time frame. And it just makes that whole experience of being able to hit a buzzer so much more meaningful. I know an injury is definitely a unique experience, but did you feel like you ever experienced anything else in your life before that felt, equally as dark or equally as challenging to go through? Or was this like totally new experience?
As far as physical injuries, this was definitely at the top. And I think it's at the top just because normally when I would have a surgery, you have your surgery and then okay, this is rock bottom right now. I'm in a lot of pain. I can't do what I love to do, and it affects your quality of life. But you know that each day it's going to get a little bit better, and it's going to get a little bit better, and you hold on to that. But what was so different about this is that I couldn't hold on to that because I knew, no, I haven't hit rock bottom yet. I'm going to hit rock bottom again in 3 months when we have to go in for the second part of this surgery. And then there's rock bottom. So I think those 3 months of knowing rehab, but I wasn't even at rock bottom yet. I wasn't on my road to recovery yet. It was going to go back to square one. So as far as physical injuries, this is definitely the toughest surgery that I have ever been through.
Yeah, that's a lot, especially to know, because I've had injuries before where it's like, that moment, like when the swelling gets really big and things hurt, you're like, okay, well, this is terrible that this just happened, but that it's on the mend. Every day forward is getting better. But to just even know in your mind that you're going to have a second surgery and restart the process, that's a lot. And so then to I feel like you learn so much from those experiences of having to hold on to hope, and then you carry that into everything else that you do. When all this is going on, were your kids already also involved with Ninja Warrior, or when did they start junior?
So I started this crazy ninja thing about 4 years ago, and it started with us just kind of finding stuff out in nature. I thought, boy, that looks fun, and I would really like to try it. So we just found things at parks, where you don't use the equipment how you're supposed to. And you tell all the other
Right.
kids at the park, please don't copy us. And so we
Yeah.
just started playing on things and using them how they probably weren't intended, hoping no one kicked us out. And we just really all started to really fall in love with it 4 years ago. And, I started it. The kids are totally an easy sell. We are already a pretty active family. But just the balance of having it be fun and exciting and challenging, we all really enjoy that part of it. And then just being together, there's something really special and bonding about any kind of exercise, whether it's ninja or something else that you do with someone. But ninja, I found even more so than all of the traditional and non-traditional sports that I did growing up. There is something so special about it. I don't know if it's like you're in the fire together against these obstacles, but it is so incredibly bonding, with my kids, but also with the students that come and do obstacles with us that have trained here. I mean, I have people in my life now that are like family, not just the kids that have trained, but also the adults that have trained or the parents of the kids that come and train. We refer to our house as the ninja boarding house many times, where people will travel from all over and they'll just crash here. And we've been known to have several ninjas staying downstairs with us. So it's just become a family thing where we all love it and enjoy it. And then the kids have also had some really cool opportunities to compete on American Ninja Warrior Junior. So what, cool full circle moments when, you kind of start this crazy thing that I did, and then my kids get to get out there and get on obstacles and compete. But so much good has come from this journey. I'm so thrilled that I said yes to this crazy thing 4 years ago. And it's just been so amazing for our whole entire family.
Yeah, it sounds like
Mhm.
it. That I love that you have so much at your home, and were those obstacles that you built yourself, I guess, then?
So kind of a little bit of both. So when I
Okay.
first started this, I really wanted to know if I could do a salmon ladder, just because it was one of those iconic things of American Ninja Warrior, and you can't find a salmon ladder in nature to try to see like, could I do this? And so my 17th wedding anniversary was coming up, and my husband asked me what I wanted, because when you've been married that long, you like quit giving each other stuff you really don't want. And so he asked me, he says, Sandra, what do you want for your anniversary, for our anniversary? I said, salmon ladder. He looks at me like I'm crazy. He's like, really? I said, yeah, I don't want flowers. I don't want chocolate. I definitely don't want jewelry. I would love a salmon ladder. That's what I want. So that's what I got. So it started there, and we put a rope in it. So we had a rope climb, a rope swing, and just the salmon ladder. But when I got back from LA and I went out on TikTok because I didn't know how to trap peas, the competitor in me was like, this can't happen. If I'm going to go out in American Ninja Warrior, it's going to be because I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory, because my fists, my forearms were pumped and I had nothing to hold on to. I had nothing left. I do not want to go out because I don't have the technique for something. So when we got back from LA, the first thing I did was I called up one of my buddies, and he's a contractor, and he builds houses. I said, I need a trapeze. I went out on the trapeze, and I can't have that. I've got to have this in my backyard. And he laughed, and he also thought I was crazy. But he came out, and we talked about how to build ninja stuff in the backyard. And he built the trapeze, and then he built like kind of a main frame, because I really wanted it to be where it was strong enough that it could sustain the biggest person that might come out and try to play on this. Because when I envisioned it, it was like, I don't want this to just be something I can play on, or even just myself and my kids. I want it to be something that the community could come out and experience ninja, because it has been such a positive experience for me, in growth for me, in growth for my kids, physically, mentally, emotionally. I thought, I don't want to just have this little thing back here for me. I want to share this with people. And so he built the big main frame, and we've added on all the finishing touches. And then we also have some portable stuff that's out in the area. We have a big grassy backyard. And so we have over 40 obstacles. And the cool thing about how we've done it, when I envisioned it, is we have stuff that can be lower and closer together. So it's scaled for kids and scaled for beginners. And then we have it where it can be scaled all the way up for on the show. So I can have ninja buddies traveling from all over the country, and they can train with me, and we can get ready for the show. So it's really unique in that aspect, is that it's become really a community thing here, where people can come and experience ninja, and I get to share this great sport.
Wow, so it sounds like I know where the next gym I want to train at is. That's
Please. Hey, and I even have a room for you. You can come today. Oh, that'd be a thrill.
I would cook you breakfast every morning because that's my specialty.
Yes.
If I can come stay with you, that sounds so great. I love it.
Okay, that's on my bucket list of things I need to make happen now. I would love that.
Deal, and the rest of the Ninja Babes community will hold us
Oh my goodness, now we're talking. Right, road trip to the Zimmermans. I love it.
from New Jersey all the way to the west. I can't. Yeah, I will. I will do that one day.
We could pick up the ladies as you come across the United States.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Yes.
If you are listening and you want to be a part of this, you definitely need to email me at theninjababes@gmail.com. I would totally do that. Oh man, that's
Oh my gosh. I'm suddenly just so stinking excited. If this could happen, oh my goodness.
well,
Oh, I'll help fund it. I'll pay for the gas. Can I put that
sure,
out there too? I want to get you
sure.
guys here.
Yeah, I'm definitely
All
down.
right.
I'm also turning 30 in September, so I feel like this is the time to
Oh,
do something like that.
is there any better way to spend your 30th birthday
Seriously, I don't think so.
with a bunch of ninja babes at my place training? Oh my gosh.
That would be amazing. I had no idea that you had 40 obstacles. Okay, so the only thing I knew about your
Mm.
home was what they showed on your clip on A&W, so I just
Oh,
really didn't realize there
it
was
is
that many
absolutely
obstacles
massive,
there.
and it's not just the, one structure. We actually, I have a ninja buddy who is a genius. He's actually a metal fabricator plus a ninja, so he has both those backgrounds. So he has also built me stuff. Unfortunately, he's all the way in Albuquerque, which means the shipping sometimes costs more than the actual thing he's building me. But he has been wonderful. You know, he'll build me stuff and charges very, very little in, or if any, in labor because he says, hey, this is my way of giving back to the ninja community. And so we've got like a double salmon ladder and some other portable stuff that he's built. So it's in the backyard, but we can also do some fit expos and different events around Spokane so people can enjoy it at those as well. So it's been amazing. I mean, it's legit. We got a full warp wall. It's actually a little higher than the show too. Tons of agility stuff that we can bring out. So basically what I've tried to do is every skill set that you would get on Ninja, it is my obsession to try to have an obstacle that is, if not it, is at least similar to that skill set.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way to do
Mhm.
it, to really cover all those skills. So much of Ninja is skills that are just applicable in different situations and learning
Mhm.
how to manage and manipulate that. Easier said than
Yeah.
done a lot of times. But that's the concept I feel like that a lot of us try to follow.
Yeah.
But that's great that you have that all there. A huge thank you to all of the companies that support Ninja Babes. Sleepovation is a sponsor of the Ninja Babes podcast and an all-around friend to ninjas. Their mattresses are changing ninjas' lives with their innovative 700 tiny mattresses in one technology. The individual squares of the mattresses allow for airflow, for cool sleep, and truly follow the curve of your body to give an ergonomic support to your body while you sleep. I love it because sleeping with a torn labrum has been easy. So many friends have asked me if it's been hard to sleep because I can't sleep on my shoulder or roll to my side. But ever since getting the Sleepovation mattress, I've always slept on my back because it's just so comfortable. And when I travel, I miss my bed back home so much. I would recommend this bed to anyone, but especially if you have back or joint pain, or if you just want to feel like you're sleeping on a heavenly cloud, you should totally try it out. You can try out the Sleepovation mattress 100 days risk-free and use our code NINJABABES, all caps, NINJABABES, for $450 off your order. There's tons of great Sleepovation videos on the Ninja Babes YouTube channel if you want to find out more and really see what the mattress looks like. And you'll also find other great teachings there about how to rework your brain to think positively, build your self-confidence, and really get your head in the game for ninja competitions and just for life in general. There's tons of great content in the YouTube channel, so check it out. Also up on the channel are videos about Patellar Life products. I love and use these products in my training every day. Patellar Life is a holistic, all-natural fitness supplement company. They make whey proteins made from organic and grass-fed milk. They also make non-GMO and organic vegan proteins. They also have a great all-natural pre-workout if you really want to kick, or they even have an energy and focus blend that I really like because it's not quite as intense as the pre-workout, but it still gives you a nice all-around wake-up of focus energy before your workout or just your regular workday. I also benefit from the amino acids blend, and it comes in so many awesome flavors. The pineapple mint tea is one of my favorites. So try them out and see the difference that they make in your life and in your training. Plus, if you purchase using code Ninjababes, all caps, you'll get 10% off your order and you'll be supporting the Ninjababes podcast and future events. So check out their website and let me know which products are your favorite. And of course, if you want to book a Ninjababes workshop event or if you have comments or questions, please email me at theninjababes@gmail.com. So I guess I'm wondering, what did you feel like there was something different from, besides just your physical body? I know that that's a huge factor. Like you had all those surgeries, and that was a huge difference from the seasons prior until this season, season 11. But did you feel like mentally you went into it any differently, or was there something else different when you came back this season?
Definitely some huge changes, things that I have learned and in the course of this last couple years and just the injury. Some things that are a little easier to explain, maybe. One is actually Akbar said this in a podcast, and it really hit me one time. He said, the rest days are as important as the training days. And that was one really big eye-opening moment because I think I was completely, totally overtraining. My personality is, I don't know if it's stubborn or grit. It's kind of a fine line sometimes in ninja, but I had set this goal and I was working my tail off. I mean, there were times I was doing 2-a-days, body weight stuff. And then I'd go back and do obstacle course training. And I didn't realize it at the time because I just kind of, for me, what's worked in my life to get out of poverty and a rough childhood was hard work, good old fashioned hard work. So I've always kind of been wired that way. So when it came to ninja, it's like, well, if I want to reach this goal and I want to succeed, then I got to put my nose to the ground. I got to work my tail off. And so in that, though, I think I was really overtraining. And that was probably part of why I had the injuries too. And so one thing that I have done differently is try to be really disciplined about having rest days and making sure that I was getting enough sleep. Those were huge because, man, I'll tell you what, I don't think most people get even close to enough sleep. They say, I think the recommend is 8 hours. I need more than 8 hours. I mean, the sleep part, have definitely been more disciplined about that. And then being more disciplined in taking days off, as crazy as that sounds. But I really had to allow myself to do that and give myself permission, blessing, whatever it was, to allow me to do that. So that was a big change. Another huge change, though, for me was mentally going into this. There was still so much, and I will always carry it from my childhood, growing up. Just with the abuse that I suffered, I think there's always going to be kind of this struggle in my head and mentally trying to navigate the voices. And that was huge for me, because I have this one voice in my head that is this little girl that grew up poor and on welfare and went through horrific forms of abuse and is shy and is timid and is guarded. And then I have this other voice that is this strong, confident, badass woman that I've become. And I struggled between those two, and I still struggle between those two. But what I've tried to really do this last year, and my goal, honestly, going into season 11, as I sat there before I walked up those stairs to the platform, was my big hope or prayer was just that I could navigate the voices, that I could go up there, and whether I went out on the first obstacle or I made it all the way through and hit the buzzer, my big goal, and what I was thinking about leading up to that was, please let me navigate these voices. Please let me navigate these voices. That is my goal. No matter what happens, I thought, you know what? I'm going to leave stronger because I am putting myself out there. Ninja puts you out there. I'll tell you what, it puts you out there mentally. It puts you out there physically. Anyone that's done the sport knows it is a difficult sport, but that's why I loved it. I thought, you know what? A magical thing happens to us when we put ourselves out there physically and mentally. And I knew standing at that platform that whether I did go out on the first obstacle or I went to the buzzer, I knew I was going to leave better. And there was such comfort in that mentally of just like, hey, stay in the moment. Let's navigate these voices. I honestly never once thought, hey, I'm going to be the first mom to hit a buzzer. Never even crossed my mind at that point. It was just, let's navigate these voices. Let's stay in the moment. And let's see what we can do here and just take it one at a time. And so that was my big thought and my big goal going into this as I walked up there. And I remember as I walked up those stairs, and if you're a ninja, you know this feeling, you're back there and they make you wait what feels like forever. And then you finally get to walk up those stairs to where you're about to start. And then they usually make you wait more. And I remember just walking up those stairs and just a little smirk came on my face. And I just had this overwhelming feeling of two things. First, whew, Sandy, you are right where you're supposed to be, doing right what you're supposed to be doing. And the second thought was, you're going to listen to the right voice tonight. And I just smirked and I thought, that would be really cool. That would be really cool if I could do that tonight. And I guess it worked out. And I was able to do something really magical, because I will tell you, I know ninja is a difficult sport and I have so much respect for it and how hard it can be physically and mentally. And I have so much respect for the people that do this sport, because I've walked in your shoes and I know how hard it can be. So to be able to do something like that and get through that course and hit a buzzer, but really the real magic, I think, from all this, as incredible as hitting the buzzer was, what's changed me is the whole journey itself. Even if I hadn't hit a buzzer, what this has done for me in building my character and my strength and my confidence and my courage, the journey is what did that. The buzzer happened to be the ending result, what everybody saw on the show, but the journey is what has absolutely changed my life and how I live my life to the fullest now. Because I was living a good life, but now I feel like now I'm living a great life.
Wow. That is just, I'm like eating up every word that you're saying. So much of what you're saying is so true. And I've thought or experienced like in different ways. And I think so many ninjas can relate to what you're saying. And even just that moment of, I love what you said, like standing on the starting line and just reminding yourself that you are right where you need to be. And I think that's huge. I know I've experienced moments of being on that course and not feeling completely present in what I was doing, even like as I was doing the motions of climbing or running, feeling almost like disconnected. And I think a lot of ninjas, this might be a little different, but I do think a lot of ninjas also refer to like feeling like they blacked out while they were on the course. Like they don't even know what just happened. But something that I struggle with is trying to really be present in the moment while competing. And I don't know, it's like something happens where I don't know if it's a combination of like nerves and just having set like a high expectation for yourself. But sometimes I really struggle to be completely like focused and present in the moment. And so, just hearing you talk about that is so huge to me. And just realizing like how much of your journey really impacted you to be able to just be so thankful and grateful for being there. And then just, remind yourself that how much worth you have just for being who you are and standing on the starting block, even if you fall on the first obstacle.
Absolutely. We do ninja, but it doesn't define us. It absolutely doesn't define us. It's something we do, and it's a big part of our life, and we love it, because I think no one would do it if you didn't love it. It's so stinking challenging in so many ways. But people that understand how to define success, I think that's huge in ninja, because success is not just hitting a buzzer. And if that's the only way you define success, then I feel like your ninja warrior journey is going to be short-lived and it's going to be a hard road. But if you define success in whatever it is, for me, it was like, hey, can I navigate these conversations better? Because that for me would have been success, huge success, no matter how it would have gone. Or maybe it's putting yourself out there. Hey, this is scary. I went through one obstacle of one season. Now I want to try to do two. And maybe next season I'll try to do three, or whatever it is. How we define success can't just be, hey, did I hit a buzzer? Or hey, did I get to Mount Midoriyama? I think we really got to think about how we define success. And it has to involve the people that are there along in that journey. And that for me is huge. I feel success because there are people that I've connected to that I never would have been able to have those influences and those, both being influenced, but also influencing others in this sport. And it always comes down to, for me, is to the people. And so one thing in life that I feel like you could take with you is those relationships, and that you can leave behind in the people that you impact. And for me, that's that's success. And so I really think that if you're in this sport, that's something you really should consider is, what am I going to consider successful for me? What is it that I'm going to take away from this? Whether I, go out or I make it really far. And I think you have to do that in the sport and remember what's really important and what's really lasting in life for those relationships that we make along the way.
Absolutely. I think that's so valid. And just going off of that, is there any other advice that
Mhm.
you have for ninjas, piggybacking off of what you just said about really understanding your own definition of success and what that looks like? Do you have any other advice just for, I don't know, for ninjas in general, or for how we can get the most out of what we're doing, or even just recognizing like where we are in this sport? And I don't know, there's so many things I could say just as like I feel like are things ninjas need to like think about, or ways that we can grow through our sport in our own self-worth and like our identities and who we are. I think ninjas so much of like a mind and body sport that it's like it lends so many opportunities for us to dive deeper into who we are. But do you feel like there's anything else like specifically that you would want to encourage ninjas to think about in their journey?
Sure. So one thing too is I think, listening to different podcasts made a huge difference in my journey this last year and getting ready for season 11. You can learn so much from other people's stories and other people's own journeys and their own struggles and their own successes. And that has been a huge one. I have this mental toughness podcast that I have fallen in love with, Dr. Rob Bell. And who would have thought, so many things I feel like in life are random, but they're really not random or coincidences. And coming across his podcast and listening to just little tidbits from different people that have gone through struggles, but that have made it through was just what I needed to hear going into season 11. And things, to mentally prepare. One of the things, another nugget that I really picked up that I hope other ninjas listen to, that really helped me this season is you can see before I do an obstacle that I'm planning it out and I visualize it kind of first. And I'm like going through my head, like, right, left, grab the rope, swing, and then the next obstacle. And I don't go fast, and that's really not my game. And honest, mentally, maybe I'll be in a better place where I could just put my pedal to the metal like some ninjas do and go quicker. But for me, in order to stay in the present, I just had to pause between obstacles and I would just remind myself, okay, the only thing I'm thinking about right now is what does it take in order to get this particular obstacle? And so instead of thinking about the end, the result or the product, I think we have to change that mindset. I can't be, and I think I did in the first couple seasons I was on, it was more like thinking about the end result. What if I make it through this? What impact will it have on my life? What kind of reaction are people going to have if I succeed? What kind of reaction are they going to have if I fail? And so not thinking of the end result or the product, what I did this season was I just thought of the process. And that helped keep me in the moment. So I'm standing in front of those shrinking steps thinking, all right, I'm going to go right, left, right, left, right. I'm going to grab the rope and I'm going to swing. And that's all I'm thinking. I'm not thinking about being the first mom to hit a buzzer. I'm not thinking about being the first one to see even 11 to complete the course and hit a buzzer. All I'm thinking is right, left, right, grab the rope and swing. And then I get behind the next obstacle and I'm thinking the same thing. All right, here's what I want to do. I'm going to swing and I'm going to be patient with my body on this because it's going to be a long, slow swing. And I'm going to jump, I'm going to grab, I'm going to make sure that on the second time I go, because if I stay any longer on that, I'm not going to make it. And so in that moment, that's all I'm thinking is process. What is it I need to do to do this obstacle in front of me? And I think that helped me really stay in the moment. And does it help me get a fast time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But for me, it helped me in season 11 to just stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. And however this goes, it goes. But here is what I think will help me get through this obstacle. And I did that on each one. And it wasn't until honestly I grabbed the wall. And when I got the top of the wall, and that moment when I flexed, I was so stinking excited because I was finally the moment was like, holy hell, I did it. And I couldn't it was one of those like, this is happening. Like, this is really happening. I thought most people, you see other people dream big dreams and get them, but like I've dreamt a big dream and I'm actually getting this. So that was the one moment when I turned to flex. I was like, this is happening. And then I finished and hit the buzzer. But until that moment, I never once thought about the end result. I never thought about the product. It's process, process, process. And I hope maybe someone listening will benefit from that. But that helped me keep me in the right space in my mind as I did the course. And then I knew the other thing was it helped relax me is that I knew that, hey, Sandy, you're putting yourself out there. How many people are willing to put themselves out there in front of millions of people? And no matter what happens, you're going to come out better and you're going to come out stronger in character,
Mhm.
in mental fortitude, all of those things, you're going to come out better. And I thought, that's right. I am. It doesn't matter how this goes. I'm going to come out better. But hopefully maybe that will help somebody else out there navigate this because it's a tough sport.
Yeah. I didn't really realize, like, how tough ninja can be when I first got involved. I was like, "This is fun, I'll do this," and then, when you really get into it and try to be competitive or even just try to challenge yourself, you realize, like, how difficult it can be, but, you know, just that mental toughness and that grit of pushing through and like navigating through all of your own feelings or thoughts about yourself. And I never realized how much my own perception of myself would play into my performance in the sport. But I think it's something that, it's something that I do teach and talk about in the Ninja Babes workshops. But it's something that I really wish that every ninja, every human could just realize how much the way that they perceive themselves and the way that they believe about themselves directly impacts their day-to-day life and especially our performance on the course. I guess I was wondering, you're talking about kind of your trauma from your childhood and now having to navigate those voices as you move forward. Um, how do you have there been ways for you to like find, I don't know what you want to call it, like find healing through being able to navigate and being able to like one day at a time find which voice you're listening to with like a more finer tuned ear, or do you feel like it's kind of like up and down and sometimes you feel clear headed and what you're listening to and sometimes it's more of a struggle? I'm just wondering like if you could just explain a little bit more what you've been through and like help other people who maybe have a similar background, maybe they have some of those same voices, like how do you navigate them?
Yeah. So when I first started this crazy American Ninja Warrior journey about 4 years ago, um, I really honestly had no idea that I was still carrying around a lot of baggage from my childhood. I still was carrying around a lot of shame and guilt. And so, what Ninja Warrior did is, I think, again, when you put yourself out there, is I was living a good life, though. I mean, I'm a teacher. I love what I do. I have 3 wonderful kids. But I think at that point in my life 4 years ago, I was living a good life. But now looking at that, I was definitely not living a great life. And so many incredible moments that have come from Ninja Warrior and just putting myself out there. I was just growing in character. I was growing in confidence and strength. And it really got to a point when one of the big moments was I was at NorCal doing a competition and surrounded by some of the most incredible ninjas in the sport. And one of them, I'm sure everybody knows, was Barclay Stockett. She is the sweetest, kindest soul you will ever meet. Just a wonderful human being. And I remember this was before either of us had had a big run. So we were just kind of at that point learning, just new to the sport. And, anyways, just in talking to her, I just had this little voice in my head that said, Sandy, you don't need these walls anymore. And it's so funny. You have these little conversations with yourself. And I'm sitting there around all these incredible people. It's like, it was kind of one of those, look at all these amazing people around you. And the conversation kind of went like this: Sandy, you don't need these walls anymore. And as a child, you needed these walls. And that's what protected you. And that's what helped you survive. It helped you survive all the abuse. And you don't need those anymore. And I had this voice just saying, you know what? 99% of people are really good people. Look around you. And I looked around and I thought, all the people here were incredible people. And then the thought was, these walls that I had up, they were protecting me as a child, but as an adult, what those walls do is they trap you in. So it was just like this picture of me in this well, trapped inside these walls, is how I pictured it. And now as an adult, here I was trapped. And I was living a good life, but I definitely was not living a great life because I wasn't letting people in, even people really close to me. And I was still very, very guarded. And it was in that moment, just those aha moments in your life. So I got to let these walls down. I've got to really let these walls down so I can truly enjoy the people around me. And had I not done Ninja, I think I would have been still living a good life, but not a great life. But now that those walls are down, I will tell you, my life has changed so much. The people I've met, and all different kinds of people. You know, that's the cool thing about Ninja. It's not just about meeting someone that's kind of like you. You meet people from all different backgrounds, men, women, old, young. I mean, people that you would maybe normally never, ever meet in life. And so that was definitely one thing that I have taken from this. And it's opened up, you know, me to say yes to a lot of social things, honestly, that I never would have said yes to in the past. And so much good has come from it. I mean, we've raised over $20,000 for local charities here in Spokane because I've had the courage to go to these social events and be auctioned off and offer these Ninja Days. So much good has come from it to let my walls down and let people in and get to know people and for people to get to know me. And it has absolutely rocked my life. And that was before I even hit a buzzer. And again, it's the journey. It's the journey. It's the journey, not the destination and not the hitting the buzzer that made all the difference, but to go from living a good life to a great life, because I learned through Ninja that I don't have to have those walls, was a huge point in my journey.
Yeah, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think so many people can relate to that, and that's amazing. I think Ninja has had a way of changing each one of us in different ways. So it's really awesome to hear you explain that and hear your story. We're gonna probably end in just a couple minutes.
Mm,
So before I start to close this out, I just wanted to ask you if there's anything else
okay.
specific that you wanted to say.
Um,
If not, it's fine. I just wanted to ask.
I want to hold you to that Ninja Babes road trip. Can I hold you to that publicly?
Yeah, no, I would love if you did because then I'll really make it happen.
Oh my goodness. I would like to hold you accountable on this podcast, and we got to make that happen. We got to get a Ninja Babes road trip going here. People can fly, people can drive, however you want to get here. You'll have a place to stay, and you'll have some incredible obstacles to get on. I mean, that's how we should celebrate your birthday. And September in Spokane is absolutely beautiful. It is the most beautiful weather in September. So we could do some awesome stuff on the Ninja. We could even do some fun non-Ninja stuff. But I would love, love, love to see that happen.
Wow, okay, well, I'm gonna have to start really mapping this out. You're gonna have to text me your address so that I can look
I
on the map.
will.
Oh
I'm not
man.
letting this one go. You threw that out there, and I'm not letting this one go. I've got my hopes up now.
Well, I'm known for big ideas, so
Yes.
we can definitely look into this. Sandy, where else can people find you on social media?
All right. Well, I am on social media. I have a public Facebook page, and it's just Sandy Zimmerman, American Ninja Warrior. Follow me there. And then I'm on Instagram. It's Zim Possible, Zimm Possible. And then same name on Twitter. And I'm new to Twitter, but I am trying to learn. So be patient with me there. But I'll try to keep people updated on the latest happening in American Ninja Warrior. Definitely, people need to, if they're not tuning into every episode, I'll be back on August 5th for the Tacoma City Finals. So I hope people will tune in and watch me run in City Finals and see where it goes from there. There are so many history making runs this year, and you want some feel good TV for you and where you can sit as a family and watch it. This is a season to do that. There are so many epic history making things that are going to happen. And I really hope people will tune in, and maybe it'll inspire them to dream their own big dream and take that first step and do something crazy that you've been wanting to do, but you have been holding back, because this is the season that will inspire you to do that for sure.
Absolutely, well said. I think so many people, I really do get a lot of messages and comments from people that are like, I love listening to the stories on American Ninja Warrior. Like it's cool seeing the runs, but the stories are what like really gets me.
Mm.
And it's so true. And it's gonna definitely, like you said, be really cool to see all that play out this season. Well, Sandy, thank you so much for sharing on the show today. I really appreciate your story and I look up to you a lot. You're definitely
Oh.
goals. I'm turning 30 soon, but like you are my goals that I'm looking forward to everything to come after Thursday 30. So,
Oh. Hey, thank you so much. Oh, with all my heart, I am just so thrilled that I got to be here with you and to get to share a little bit of my story with your listeners. And I mean, it's an honor. It really is an honor. So thank you so much.
thanks, Sandy.